Hello and welcome to a very special episode of our HubSpot tips and tricks, which is all about introducing HubSpot's AI tools. Now, before we click this, if you want to see more of our exploration of HubSpot tools, please subscribe and like. It helps us get the algorithm out there and more people to understand how HubSpot works. And this episode is all about showing you the general overview of the AI tools. If you want to jump into each tool specifically, let me know in the comments and we'll record a video for each one because there's quite a lot to go through. Now, if you backtrack, say about 6 months, HubSpot had a few tools. There weren't that many, but in line with where industry is going and HubSpot being seen as a market leader in CRM, then they have rolled out a lot of AI tools as of about September, October of 2025. So let's jump in and take a look. So the first one we look at is the Breeze Copilot. So the Copilot is the thing, I'm just going to show you really quickly where it sits so that there we go. So that sits on the right hand side here and you can ask it anything about HubSpot. So as an example, I can type in here, what's sales leads should I focus on this week? And it's going to go off and run through the sales deals, look at which ones are due to close soon, which ones have buying signals, and it's going to come back with a list of a set of deals that I should focus on. So if you imagine a salesperson, say they've been away for a week or two, they've come back, rather than having to go to their sales deals and go to each individual specific one, they can then go in here and have a look at their specific sales deals and it'll give them idea of which specific deals to focus on. So that's pretty cool. Now you can ask it anything in here, like I had a call with someone last week who loved Mickey Mouse. Who was it? Anything you want. Who are the top performing companies in Brisbane that I should connect to? Things like that. Anything you want. That's the Breeze Assistant. Now, the second one is our Breeze Intelligence. So as an example, when we are adding a company to HubSpot, when we add the specific company, what we can do, this will consume credits, is that we can actually get HubSpot to go off and do research based on that business. So things like phone numbers, company size, location, address, everything like that. HubSpot will use what we call Breeze Intelligence. So if we're tracking on this one, so we're looking at Breeze Intelligence here. This is the thing that allows you to flesh out details on company records, CRM records. Okay. Also, this ties in really, really well with a feature called buyer intent. So as an example, when you've got HubSpot connected to your website, you've got a specific company that's viewing your website, that's looking at specific pages that you would love them to look at, and they sit within your defined target market. What HubSpot will do is it'll go off and research that business and say, hey, here's all the details about that specific business, generate a list for your sales team to outreach to, and then you have an outreach list based on businesses that are in context that are looking at the right parts of your website. How cool is that? Now, the next one is our Breeze agent. So I'm just going to expose some of these. So the first one is the social media agent. Now, if I jump across to HubSpot, we can see what's going on here. Okay, so here's the social media agent or social post agent. What it will do, will look at the content calendar of your business and it will suggest specific posts to fill in. So whether they be things like industry moments, some cultural events, holidays. So right now I'm recording and it's sort of the end of year, so a lot of people probably have Christmas, New Year type posts. It will suggest gaps in your calendar that you can fill in pretty quickly. So I like that one. Now the next one is our content agent. Okay, so if we're running into the back end of HubSpot, what we can do is find our blog research agents. There's a couple of agents that tie in with this as well. The whole idea is that this can go off. You can get actually to run on a daily basis, a weekly basis, so it'll go off and research topics for you, and it'll generate blog posts for you as well. So that's pretty cool. Now, the next one is our prospecting agent. So that sits under the sales area, but what it'll do, based on information that it knows, it will then present prospects to you with suggestions of how to reach out to them. You can put it on full auto mode if you wish. We haven't had anyone actually do that yet, but definitely having it sit there, look for buyer signals from email, from web, from social, something along those lines that says, hey, this person's back on your website, they've looked at your pricing page, and then it'll pop up on your sales workspace to say, hey, I suggest to actually reach out to this person with this specific message. And it's based on, the information is based on tonality and that you feed it. So it's not like it's just writing a robotic email to them. It's actually based on how you would normally write. Okay, and this thing here, this is what we call the customer agent. So if you do have this customer service hub enabled, this will actually suggest replies to support tickets, and it'll actually reply to them for you if you want to. So that can save a lot of time filling in those low-hanging fruit, higher volume tickets that come through that can be handled by a bot, when allowing your support team to handle more complex issues. Okay, so with most technologies these days, we've got a support chat or a customer chat. So we can set this up as either a sales chat or a support chat. So essentially what we do is we feed it as much as we can, so blogs from our website, sales information, whatever it is that you need to feed it, and then it'll actually add a chat, an AI-enabled chat. So when someone comes to your website and they have questions outside of normal business hours, it can actually set up answers for you and actually send them information such as, hey, would you like to book in a meeting, things like that. So that's we've tested that one. That's actually quite surprising, just the level of results that we're getting from that one. So we really like that one, and we've got it live on our website if you want to test it. All right, so let's move over to our marketing section now. So if you are following on our section here, we've looked at Chatbot. There is a report builder. So if you are building reports, there's an AI agent built into the report builder. If you're wanting help just to get started with some reports, you can actually jump into the report section and click a button for it to generate reports for you. There's also a workflow builder. So if you're building automations in HubSpot, if you're on the professional version of HubSpot, you'll have access to most workflows. This will allow you to prompt some information into HubSpot, and it'll do its best to build out the workflow for you. Always test before you make live, but definitely give it a go and see what sort of results you get. And now we're into the marketing section. So I'm going to have a look at a few of these. So we'll have a look at some of these items. I'm going to have a look at the blog writer first. So as an example, if I'm in HubSpot and then I go up here and click on Start with AI, I can actually go in here and generate my own topic. It's already looked at some of the content on my site, and it's suggesting some ideas here. So we've sort of focused this one because it's our demo site on website development, but we can actually go through here and say website sales focus web design, some key topics. You can actually put in a web design for conversion, and then we can tell it where to. So I'm based in Australia. Now sometimes the search volume is a little bit low, but we can say, let's say, do we have manufacturing? There we go. One of my favorite industries to work with. And then it's going to go off and select the title for us. So I'm just going to pause that for a second. Okay, and these are the AI generated topic suggestions that we can run with. So I'm going to go here. That sounds pretty good. If I'm a business owner, I want to maximize revenue. And then this has got an intent keyword behind it, which means there's actually people wanting to do something. It's like commercial intent behind it, rather than just saying, hey, here's how to write your first blog. So that's better. So we click on here. We can actually add additional reference material if we want to. I'm not going to go and do that, but it's going to go off now and generate an outline of this this blog post. So it's generated some of it here. I'm just going to leave it as is. You can obviously tweak these if you want, and then I'm going to click on generate blog post. Okay, so it's generated the blog post for me. As you can see, we've got images in there. We've got a fair bit of information in there. You can go through and view this if you want. If anything, my feedback is that the content is always pretty light. So what you can do is you can just go here and hit the refine button, and you can expand it. So it'll go off and expand it for you. Challenge with that is that does it in the Breeze agent, which means that they're going to copy it back into the blog. At the end of the day, it does help you write content. Okay, so it's generated the content now. If I hit replace, it'll actually replace the section that I've done. I'm always a big fan of longer blog posts, so we can go through and really expand that and go to expand it to our heart's content. One final thing to note is that it's actually told me that it's got the brand identity applied in here. So I've uploaded our brand identity into our demo version, and based on that identity, it's now generating content for me. Now the final part of my blog is generating an image. So I can click on generate with AI, and then I could type in some specifics. Okay, now it's actually given me a suggestion. I can enhance it if I want to, but I'm just going to go ahead and click generate. I'm going to generate a landscape one, and then style is going to be specific as well. So I'm going to let AI decide it. So let's go ahead with that. Okay, so it has generated a couple of images in here. Like, they're fairly bland, fairly generic. I personally would actually change this to have something a little bit different, but in the interest of time, let's run with that. And we've now got an image for our blog posts. So, and the last thing I can do is generate post narration with AI, where it will convert the blog post into voice, which will sit at the top of the page. Okay, so it's generated that pretty quickly. I'm going to click on add to blog post, and now in real world, yes, I've ticked the box and I've generated a blog post, but in real world, I would prefer to actually have a human review all of this as well. Now, the next part of the marketing section, which I love, is the content remix section. So what I can do here, I can have a template that I can use, so I can convert content to a larger audience. And what it's going to do is I can add content that I have produced earlier. I'm just going to select a specific one here and just generate the content. Now what it's going to do is going to pull all the information out of here and repurpose that for multiple channels, which I think is amazing. Okay, so still generating some of them, but what it has done is generated an ad for me. It's generating the email at the moment, but it's now generated a social media post. It's generated, I think that's the maybe another blog post off the back of it, another social post, and it's now generated the email. I think that's using the wrong templates, so apologies, it looks pretty bad. But what we can do is we've got a call to action where it's a pop-up on my website, and then another couple of social posts as well. So when you've got the template set up right, it's essentially clicking a button, coming back 5-10 minutes later, and it's produced all this content for you, which you can just repurpose, which I think is amazing. To actually go ahead and produce all of those individually would take a lot of time, and a lot of businesses avoid it because it's just too much. So now, very quickly, if we look at HubSpot's, if you remember, HubSpot had inbound marketing for a while. The new generation of marketing to what we call loop marketing. Loop marketing is essentially getting information out there that is very, very hyper focused. So we're looking at very, very specific niches and sending your information to as many channels as you can, rather than the one or two niche that we used to do in the past, and getting your brand and message in front of as many people, many eyes as possible. And then the whole loop bit is you then research, get feedback on that content, and then iterate based on what the data told you. So to be able to do that, you have to produce a lot of content to be able to get get enough data to be able to measure and get the results by putting it in front of enough people. Now, if you think a traditional way of doing things, you would produce your blog posts and then you'll probably then go off and produce an ad and then manually produce social. It's a lot of work. The content generator, the remix, saves a huge amount of work. So highly recommend looking at that if you've got an option. Okay, so let's shift over to sales now. So we're going to look at the conversational intelligence, the predictive forecasting, and lead scoring. So I'm going to jump into our sales area. One of the cool things I love about this is HubSpot has brought out transcribing of calls. So if you've got Teams, Zoom, Google Meet, one of those systems, it'll actually transcribe the call for you and then put all the notes straight into HubSpot. I love that. And then next steps, objections, anything like that. So you can actually analyze, you can put the AI to put the content into HubSpot and then run something like a sales intelligence over the top to say, right, well, where can we do better in our sales calls? So it'll actually analyze that for you. Okay, so if we switch over to the AI forecast now, we've got the ability, this is in beta at the moment, but if you go into the forecast area, switch on the beta and then go to the Analyze tab, it will then analyze all of your past closed deals, get an idea of what's in your pipeline now and where things are at, and then generate a forecast for you, which I think is really exciting. It does say that, you've got to have enough data in there to increase accuracy. So if you've got data in the system and been putting it into HubSpot, then it'll be able to create a forecast for you. The more data, the more reliable it's going to be. The next section here is our AI-driven lead scoring. So under, where are we? I think it's marketing and then lead scoring. There is a section here to generate AI-driven lead scores, and once we give a specific time frame, we want to have lifecycle stages that start off as a specific stage and then move to an sales qualified lead, and it's going to give you an idea of what other types of customers or prospects you could reach out to. So the idea being that those with a higher score are more likely, based on what we've filled out here, more likely to respond when you reach out to them. Okay, so let's move on to the service side of HubSpot now, the customer service side. So conversation, summaries, and reply recommendations. So this is a ticket. It's come from sort of a fictitious website, so obviously it's got hacked with a whole bunch of spam, but it's actually translated it, which is interesting, and given a summary of the ticket. So one of the challenges with ticket reading is that if someone's written War and Peace and a 400-page essay on their ticket, it's been able to just quickly scan on this and go, oh yeah, that's that specific ticket, and that's what that's all about, just to play catch up and also spend less time having to trawl through lengthy emails. And the last section here is our customer agent. So what this will do, actually recommend replies based on specific tickets, based on what information, what knowledge we have fed HubSpot. All right, so over out to our data section now. So data quality, automation, and formula generation. So big thing here is that with businesses with very, very large databases, it's really tough to be able to keep your data nice and clean. So even simple things like separating out first name and last name, capitalizing, finding out phone numbers that are formatted incorrectly, those types of things, duplications, things like that. HubSpot's Data Hub will actually sit in the background and come back and show you contacts, companies, whatever it might be, that need enrichment. Now we can put workflows automation over the top so that it does this automatically. You can fine tune that, but main thing is that this allows you to have much cleaner data, especially if you've got a really, really large database. And the final thing with this is that if you are using certain parts of the Data Hub, so there's a couple of cool things you can do. So if you're wanting to create a new property in HubSpot, you can actually give it a description, or you can create manually. And then when we go into a formula field, it will allow us to generate that using AI. So pretty cool. So that's as I said, we've gone for 19 minutes, almost 20 minutes now. A very, very broad overview of the HubSpot AI tools. There's a lot to it. You can see why I didn't want to go into specific depth. Hopefully that's helped, giving you a very broad overview. If you want to, as I said again, if you want to go deeper into any of these specific ones, let me know in the comments. Let me know what sort of results are people are getting as a result of these AI tools and how they could help you. And as always, if you'd love to reach out and for us to help show you how you can get more out of your HubSpot portal, love to have a chat and help you grow your business with HubSpot. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in our next episode.